Good evening and welcome back. So today I want to go through the terrain material first and then check a few other things after that. I did change over to an older terrain material and I like the blending here a lot better. But this one has an issue that it's mostly colors and no real textures. So I need to figure out something kind of in between. But this looks okay. But it's also a bit too dark, I think. Maybe I just need to get away from the kind of grayish black mountains. And even this is slightly lighter here, so. But the blending is definitely better, and the snow layer is a lot better on this one. So let's go through that. And this is using noise and noise normals for each of the layers and then just colors here. This is the material. And for some reason the blending here is a lot better than it was on the other ones. Just strange. Okay, let's make a copy of this one. So let's browse to it, make a copy. Hello, how are you? This is terrain visibility match. Textured. Okay, let's change this so we don't need these functions here. I mean, we need the slope mask, that's okay, but don't need those functions. So let's start with the rock layer. Where's the rock layer? Oh, that is the rock layer. But we're using the snow function for some reason. You post something else? Apparently haven't checked today, so. Quixel Mixer. It's in beta. I mean, yeah, it's Quixel is kind of the similar thing than Substance. So, but I haven't checked it out. I didn't know it was free. Let's have a look at that. Blend page sculpt. No time. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have a look at that. Oh, okay. That's how they are monetizing it. I mean, it's okay. There has to be some way to monetize it. If the program itself is free, and you pay for the rest, basically. Yeah. Hello, Pseudocarpus. How are you today? But no, I haven't looked at that. But I do have a lot of different materials in the project that I can check out. There should be a complete material pack for stylized materials, stylized terrain. I have a lot of different materials here. Then I do have, what's it called? The pack that was free, I think this or last month. It also had a lot of materials. No, I'm not thinking about getting Quixel. I do have Substance Designer and Substance Painter, and that's all I need basically. Just need to do a bit more with it. Brushify. I have a lot of materials here in Brushify that I can use. Yeah, I saw that, but I don't really have the money to spend on that. So even if it's just $200 a year, it's, yeah, and that's the thing. Substance Alchemist will be out soon, someday, and then I might get that cheaper. Wait, those are just diffuse? That's strange. Interesting. So maybe that's the issue that I had with my stuff, that I was using a lot more information that terrain materials do not need or do not like. I mean, this doesn't even have a normal map. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. We do need a height map and some kind of result here. So let's create that. Make material attributes. Even though, no, that's... damn it. No, let's not do that. Let's have a look what I changed on the other one. So, what did I change on this one? It's colors 1. Because that has the foliage generation here completely, but I think I changed a lot of things in blending and stuff like that. Yeah, I think I moved these out here and changed those. So let's compare those. If I go for this one. So this is my blending here. I'm taking the rock slope. And here I'm taking the rock slope from world align blend. And I'm not sure if that looks good. So let's switch that back. I also need to sort this out a bit better. So, rock down here. Okay, this is not even connected, so we don't need that. Wait, and these... did I do here? Okay, so these don't even have proper names. Awesome. Okay. So I kind of changed a lot of things, but stopped in the middle. So we need the slope angle and the slope mask. Then we have the fall off and the contrast. And that goes into the blend thing here. Goes in here. Textures. And then I have the rock normal. Hello. I kind of understand what you're saying, but please keep it in English if you can. My French is really, really bad. But if you asked how I am, I'm fine. And how are you? Thank you for the follow. So we need the, yeah, that's in here, that's good. I need to change this to landscape coordinates, I think. Let's check here. Oh, I don't do anything like that here. I think it's in the snow function that I do that. Yeah, I'm taking the landscape coordinates and multiply that by texture size. So basically same here. Then let's see, blend distance, sharpness. What did I do here? Throw the result in a normal material blend here. But I have a height map that I put into the power here. Okay. I think the height map is in here. And yeah, here I do use a different node as well. Okay, so we take the dirt as the base and rock as top. So this here is the dirt. That's the top. And here we have the alpha. Replaces that node. Okay, so rock blend distance, rock sharpness, I don't use anymore. So let's remove these. Tessellation multiplier I'm not using. Let's just throw these out. Displacement distance also not in use. But I might want to switch out the materials here. Even though the problem is that textures that I just had a look at don't give me a height map, and some even don't give me a normal, which could be an issue. So this would be connected up here to our, yeah, that would be combined to the base layer. So we take that. This is our new base here. And then the grass. Is on top. That's the alpha. That. So that's this part. Where do we use the rock slope? Oh, we use it for the snow as well. Interesting. Okay, let's grab all these. Okay, then we have okay, so these two are here. And then this is the alpha up here. Which layer am I using here? Not sure. Simple dirt. Cheap contrast. Multiply that by the visibility. It's the grass, and this is the algae. So that would be the sand. I think. Not quite sure. So let's go through this once more. It's changed. Wouldn't call it fixed, but changed. And then let's go up here. So what am I taking here? Oh, I'm taking the alpha. Throwing that in as a mask. So dirt slope blend alpha I'm throwing in here. Interesting. Okay. So that's what goes in here. No, that's not compatible. Okay. Do we need to change anything on the grass layer? No, that's just normal blend here. That shouldn't be an issue. Then for the sand, we just have a normal height blend, which I think is the same here. Yeah. Then for the snow, let's see, is that the same? Yeah, but we need to put in the rock slope from down here. Let's see if that changes things a bit. But first I need to go through all of these and change the landscape material again. Let's see. Streaming proxies. Let's change that. And I hope I don't crash everything. Okay, I didn't, but it looks wrong. I think that's mostly because the snow is wrong, and oh no, it's not just the snow. Some areas are not changed properly. Oh no, now they are changed. Okay. But what's up here? So basically, all the areas with snow are broken. Oh, no, not all the areas, some of them. Not sure why. But we do get the roads back. Let's see. Yep. Okay, we do get nicer slopes here. It's in at least in the areas where we can see the snow. So this looks a lot better than before. Let's just change the materials or the textures and see if it fixes this issue. Okay, let's start here with our stones. So as far as I saw here, the brushify materials, textures, rock, only have a normal and a diffuse. But we do get some for cliffs and stuff like that, so. And a variation on that. So that's not good. Erosion mask. Yeah, it's just diffuse and normal. Okay, let's not use these. Let's see, let's have a look in the stylized, even though they don't really fit in the rest anymore. Let's see. Rock cliff. Okay, what do we have here? We have a height map, we have ambient occlusion, base color, normal, roughness. Nice. And we have a combined. That's good. So let's use that. Just have a look at that. Be the base color. PBR has a slightly different configuration. The height map is the red one. Then we have roughness, green, and we don't have metallic here. Then we have the normal here. Then we need to create this and just nullify the metallic there, just to make sure. And let's apply that and have a look. It's just hiding shaders at the moment. Let's up some music here. Yeah, that looks better. Let's see. Okay, that looks horrible. At least the tiling is not good. But that's something we can change. And the orientation is also completely wrong. So let's have a look at that. We should have value for that. Yeah, I definitely need to change it so that I have near and far scaling and better blend between those. Let's see. But that definitely fixed the issue that we had here. I think it's something wrong with my materials that I had, my textures. For the moment, let's keep it this, and then we need to go in and add different variations to that. Because up close it doesn't look good. I mean, it's okay, but... So let's jump in and change the dirt layer as well. Let's see, we need some kind of land. Oh, thank you for the host. Elite Tech Workshop. How are you? What are you doing? Or what were you doing earlier? Hello. This is game called MagicAle. It is an exploration adventure game. And at the moment I'm playing around with different textures for the terrain. And figuring out good configuration for that. And at the moment I'm not quite happy with how it looks, but I'm just throwing in textures and then work on the material a bit more. Thank you. It is big, yeah. It's 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers, roughly. So and there's still a lot of space around that I can use for something. Let me just jump into the game and show you how the game itself looks. Oh, let's change that. Open level blueprint. Let's just start the game from the beginning. Let's compile that. I need to connect a few things for that because I took them off so that I can jump in specific locations. Because I'm working with world composition, and if I want to play from a specific point, I can't really load from that point if I have distance loading on, so stuff like that. Today is day 537. So over 3 years, roughly. Let's open up. Let's load this level. Connect that. Yeah, it's time-wise, it's nearly 2 years, but it's over real time of 3 years. The project started in February 2016, and in the beginning I was working more on it, sometimes full-time, but then I needed to go to work and only work during the week on the project. And yes, it's a solo project. I had a few people helping me out with small things, but mostly just tips and small assets that I have somewhere in the game at the moment. Okay, so now I should be able to show you the game properly. Nope. Okay. Default player start. Okay. So let's do a new game. Why not? This is the in-game time here, that output. And you start with asking a few questions, and then you can kind of customize your character. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, it's possible. Just jump in, play. This is a tutorial level, and here we kind of learn the base mechanics. It's mostly left click to interact with something, right click to get information about it. And then you can pick up stuff here. We have an inventory. Some coins here, we can flip the coin. Just so that we can flip it. I'm using Blender. That's the light crystal. And if I press L, it's floating in front of us. Oh, let me go out and stop the Witcher music in the background and have the in-game music here. And there are small, not puzzles, but some areas that you need the light to see stuff in. Like in this area here, because there's no internal lighting, so you need the light crystal for that. And then for this door, I needed a specific key to unlock it. And I took that. And the lighting in here is a bit broken at the moment, so this guy doesn't have proper lighting on him. But dialogue system. And here we have a small puzzle to solve, because these kind of crystals here need to be lit up. And if I'm standing on this pressure plate, they light up. But if I'm walking away, then they go out. And here I can just pick up this box and throw it over here. And then they stay on. Then I can flip that switch and have a portal here. Then we can jump into that. Yay! And that's basically all that is in the game. You can talk to people, you can walk around. There's no fighting, there's no no health, no stamina, nothing like that. It's just kind of an old school adventure game thrown in a first person open world. And we have a main quest to find magic recipe. And the first step is done. We located the Heart Valley. Now we need to find the brewery, find the recipe, and get home, basically. And now that we are through the tutorial, we can close that lock window there and just run through here. Yep. Have fun. Okay. So let's go back to the materials here. Wait. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the bits. Yeah, I am. Even though there are some people in chat that think I'm kind of running in circles sometimes. I notice that as well, but I try to not do it too often. Okay, let's see. So we have the rock changed. Let's change the other materials to something of a similar style, and then we need to figure out the near and far blending for that. Shouldn't be that hard to do, I think. I think I have a material that already does that here somewhere. I can just steal from that. Yeah. Thing is, I have a set scope for the game, but sometimes a few things get into that scope, and then I'm thinking, are they really necessary? I like them, I put them in. And it's not really scope creep, the best buzzword that's used sometimes, but it's just small things and kind of going in circles. And I mean, I'm working on this alone, so it's also a lot of work for just one person. Something to keep in mind. Oh, okay, so now I see. So that's the original color of that. Oh, okay, that's a bit too much on the light side for me. And it also doesn't fit to these at all. I think I want to have a tint on these. So it should be a bit darker. Let's add a tint in. We have here for the dirt. I think that might be better. Okay, let's change the dirt. Okay, let's see. We need the... Let's take the height map here. This is our roughness. Normal, and that's the ambient occlusion. Even though the ambient occlusion is not really needed for most of them, but... let's have a look at that. Be our dirt here. And we do have our tint. Let's put that to white and see what this looks without a tint. Should be a bit less red as a result. Okay, now I need to redo all this. Shader compiling. Okay, so this is a bit darker, but I think it's okay. Could be okay. Okay, let's go to the grass layer and find something here. Let's see. Grass. So we don't have a height map for the grass. Interesting, so we don't need that. But we do need roughness and metallic. I think I also want to change this for the dirt, so that we only have this one combined texture here. So the roughness is on the green channel. Let's put that in. Let's set the metallic to 0. Because that way we have two materials less, so that's good. Let's throw that in here. So let's this one here. And that one down there. Okay. Okay, will be a lot of shader recompiling today. Sorry about that. So I'm just trying out different textures, different materials here. Oh, interesting. So, not sure if I would use that as my grass material. Maybe I find something different here. So look at that. Could work, maybe. Do we have ground here? No, that's not. And I also need to change the color for the grass. That's not really working. Because this looks a bit strange that we have grass on top, but also grass on the texture here. Let's try this one. And I definitely need to do something about this grass color. That's a bit extreme. Yeah, that's slightly better, but not much. Need to think about that a bit more. Okay, let's see. The next thing would be the sand. Okay, let's find something for sand. Yeah, let's try that one. The only issue here is that we need a tint on that. But that's not a big problem. So let's throw that in. And then this one. And that one. And here we need to rearrange that a bit, so the height is here. Roughness is the same, but this is not the metallic here. Let's go with the 1- for the metallic. I think that could work. So let's have a look. And then we need to add the tint to it. Yeah, this definitely needs the tint. Maybe we need to make this slightly smaller as well. And then let's go with this for the moment. Slightly lighter version of that. And we also need to kind of work against the orange here, even though we can do that on the instance. Find the right color for that, so it looks okay. Okay. What's the topic for today? Okay. Oh, okay. There's a lot of stuff happening here that I need to go through and fix. Okay, let's remove all these. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's good. So, not sure what I'm doing here. So let's see, do we have snow? No, we don't have snow on this, damn it. I mean, I could just use my snow, but I think it still has issues. Okay, so let's keep that for the moment. And let's work with these. So the scent tint definitely needs to be changed. Okay, that's better. kind of need to go into the blue a bit more. So the base texture is orange, so going more blues could help us here. Okay, let's look at that without post-process. That would be extreme. I think it's okay. Let's try that. And let's also change the tiling here. I think that might be okay. Let's also work on the tiling for these. So bigger numbers in more tiling. Yeah, I think that might be okay. Let's change the speed a bit. Okay, let's see, the dirt tint. Oh yeah, that's the issue. I still had the dirt tint in here. Kind of like it like that, even though, let's see, do we have... something a bit more land roots? Contrast to land. Yeah, I think I like this one more. So let's change that. Could also go with just ground. let's see. So this is the one that we have at the moment. That's too gray. But if I tint it, then also the rocks will be tinted, and that looks a bit strange. So we have this with some roots. You know, a lot more roots than before. Completely without roots, but a bit more color on it. Slightly greener touch. Then with rocks, small rocks, grass, and let's go with either this or this. Let's try this first, and then if that's too much roots, too many roots, then we go with this. And to make this easier, let's convert that to a parameter. So that we don't need to recompile this every time. Do that for the rest here as well. Makes it a lot easier to switch out, even though in some cases I might need to switch them out if the configuration for the PBR texture is different. Or the combined texture, basically. So this is our grass. Normal. Oh, this is not even connected properly here. Snow base color. Okay, yeah, I also need to find something different at some point. But for the moment, let's just leave it like that. Because I kind of like the yellow brick road that we have here. So let's apply that, and then we can switch out materials and textures. And don't need to recompile every time. So, it's this one that I wanted. Okay, what's the issue? What kind of problem do we have here? Shouldn't be an issue. Strange. That's not good. just do this and see if that's helping. See if that helps. Okay, yeah, that helps. I definitely need to change the size for this texture here, for the rock. I think the easiest way is to just have the near and far blending working for these. Yeah, but this is definitely too gray. So let's change that in here. So dot normal dot pbr dot texture. That's a bit better. No, I'm not happy with the amount of roots that we have there. And it's also quite repeating. That's general issue of all of these. They are repeating like that. Just the other ones. Ground. Let's try ground and see if that's better. Slightly. Color could be slightly darker, but I think it's fine. I mean, we can change that at least. So let's go in here and tune this down slightly. No, I think that's fine. Okay, now I definitely need to change the grass color. So these need to be tuned down a lot. No, this does need to be quite dark. Hello. Let's see. Let's tune these down a bit more. No, it doesn't really do much. For some reason they're still way too vibrant. And this grass here I didn't like. So we'll go for this grass then. It's a bit better color-wise, but it doesn't look that good. I mean, it's a lot more performant, that's the other thing. So maybe I just need to kind of look over the fact that I don't really like the shape of the grass here. Yeah, it kind of is. It's... Thank you. Okay, let's see. Kind of want to go in and create my own grass. And I don't really have a good idea how to do that, and also don't really have the time for it, so not sure. But I mean, this grass has the effect that it's just basically one triangle or two triangles colored. And no transparency and stuff like that. So in contrast to the trees, it's a lot more performant. So if I just look at this here, that's really bad. So if I want to change something, then it's the trees. Especially these ones. But I don't think that I have nice trees here. It is an open world exploration game. Kind of mixture between an old school point and click adventure and open world exploration in first person. So if I go in here, resume. Let's load this save game. So you're in first person, but have full body with full animations, as you can see on the hands and stuff like that. And you basically walk around, talk to people, pick up items. So we can talk to this guy and ask about the airship, for instance. And we also have small puzzles in here that we can solve. So for instance, if I stand on this pressure plate, the gate opens. If I step off it, it closes. So I need to put something heavy on it to keep it open if I want to use it. So let's throw the crate on there. And now it's open. I need to do the same with another one of these. Just ignore the bouncing box. So that the last gate is also open and I can kind of leave the town. Yeah, the logo I had created for the game. Let's see, this should be here, and now we should have the gate open here. Yeah. So the last gate is open and we can leave town. And if I look at my quests, I can see, okay, I need to locate the Steinheimer Brewery. And if I look at the street signs, it says Steinheimer Brewery here. So we needed to open this gate to get to the brewery. But the brewery is on the other side of the map, so it's a long way to go. Yeah. I'm not really happy with the distance texture there, but like I said, I still need to work on that. Thank you. And then along the way you get stopped by this guy or have other encounters, basically. It's mostly just clicking through it. And in this case, this guy is from some kind of order of knights that stop evildoers on the roads, but kind of blocking the road completely. Yeah, I've pushed that away a bit too far. I think I can dial it back in a bit. Even though it helps a lot if we are climbing mountains and look around. Because that's kind of the aspects that I wanted to have in here. So that you can climb a mountain and look around. And kind of see the whole terrain and all that stuff, so basically everything that you can see you can kind of walk to if you find the right way. Some cliffs are a bit too steep to climb or to walk up to. There's no climbing in the game, but you can walk to almost every location in the game. So, for instance, let's take a trip through the mountains. Let's just find a good spot to go up this mountain and then over there and see if there's anything over there. And in case of this beacon here, it's something that you can find by just looking around, exploring. And there will be other things that you can find in specific areas. That's what I was doing this week, just adding in small things that you can find in the world. Oh no, no problem. As long as you do understand me and you can ask questions that I understand, then everything is fine. Yeah, let's have a look what this is. Oh, it's some kind of machine. Strange glowy thing. Let's talk to this guy. No, it's an airship. Interesting. Let's find another way out here. Yeah, it's... The text is a bit small on this screen here. And I don't think I have enough budget basically to have voice acting at some point. Unless I find some voice actors that work for almost nothing. Let's see, can we get up here? No, this is too steep, but here we can get up. No, that doesn't help much. I'm working alone at the moment. From time to time I got few small assets from some people, but I'm mostly working on it alone. Let's try to get over there. To the other beacon. Yeah, I've been working on the project 537 days. So over a span of about 3 years or so. Oh, let's not go this way. It's quite dark. Can't really see much. And the rock's also dark, so hard to find the way. Let's see. But the sun is getting up. Okay, I think we don't need the lantern anymore. The only issue that I have at the moment is that the landscape is unloaded. That is too far away, so we see holes in the world basically. And I still need to create or generate some meshes for that, so that we don't have those holes. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I hope so as well. Will take some time, but should get there at some point. Maybe slightly later than I had originally in mind, but eventually you will get there. Since this is kind of a hobby project on the side, it doesn't matter that much. So I'm not really on a schedule or need to watch my budget that closely for anything for the project. So as long as I find it interesting and to still work on the project, I will continue working on it. Even though I said that I don't really want to abandon it, so even if it's getting annoying at some point, I will still try to work on it to at least finish it to a point that I can say, okay, now I can kind of release it and people can play it. Even though there's an older version that's already playable on the Discord, if you want to have a look at that. But a lot of stuff changed since then. I think it's from last November, if I remember correctly. Okay, let's see. And there are still things that I kind of want to have in here, but I don't have. Something like footprints and trails in the snow and stuff like that, but I'm not sure if I can get it into this game on a nice schedule. Just something that I realized running through the snow here. It would be nice if we leave some kind of trail behind. But like I said, nice to have. Something that might be in there at some point, but not the main focus. Okay. And now we're there. So we saw the beacon from distance, and we can walk up to it, and it's some kind of tower. It's not done yet, doesn't have an interior and all that stuff, but it's there and we can walk to it. The only issue is that we didn't see the tower from the distance, but we saw the beacon. So that's nice. Now let's jump down here, because there's no fall damage. because we don't have health or stuff like that, so there's also no damage of any kind. So we can just run down a mountain, basically. Okay, so let's see. Next step would be have better tiling or also distance blending for the material here. So let's see if we can do that. And just for visuals, this is the whole world map. And the part we walked along was here, around there, to that point. And there's the rest of the world here, and there might be stuff back here, but I think this area here I will kind of cut off and add a few houses and kind of block this off from the rest of the world, so that it's the kind of starting area, and you see that you're in completely different area, but this is kind of the play area here. Problem is, once you are off the mountains, you can't really get back up, because most of the slopes here are way too high, so that you can't get back up. Even though there might be, yeah, it might be possible to get down here, but I can change that. Okay, so let's figure out the texture blending here. Don't need this anymore. This we don't need. Let's close all these and give this a better name, because at the moment it's called Terrain Visibility Matte Color 1, which is not true. It's textured. I think so. Let's have a look at that. So this one is the material, so let's call this textured, and I already created something like that. Let's remove that. And then let's also change this name here. So that we know that it's an instance of that one. Yeah, I could clean up here because there are a few things that I need to remove because they no longer work. Okay, let's have a look here. That's the one we worked on. And let's see, I think I have one material that already does the distance blending somehow. Sand blends distance. Yeah, here I have the pixel depths divided by our blend distance, and then I'm lerping between two different things. Large size, small size, even though I'm not, for some reason I'm not lerping between those properly, but let's see, do I have one where this is working? Yeah, here. I'm taking the blend distance here, but that's pixel depths. I think this is not the right way to do it. I think I need the kind of player position. Let's see. What was this? No. Texture size, world coordinates. No, that's different. Let's look this up. I think I had something for that, but I can't remember. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's mute that, but let's just have a look at that. Okay, he's going over texture coordinates. Pixel depths. Okay, so he's doing like that. So let's have a look what we have here. Okay, that's slope blending. Let's see. Automatic terrain texturing. No, that's different. It's not what I want. I mean, it's a bit older, but if the same thing works for this, then let's see. It's that, and then we have, yeah, detail here and nicer tiling in the back. So what are they doing here? So world position, camera world position. And then we have the distance. Divide that by transition distance. And then lerp between the two. So near tiling, far tiling. Okay. Let's see if we can find that in here. So then we would need two different texture sizes for that, basically. So what was it? We need, oh, where's it? Here. Just put that on another monitor. So world position. Camera position. Distance. Distance blend. No. Blend range, start offset. Nope. It's not the same. Distance. Then we want divide. And then some kind of value here for that. Power. 2000. And then a clamp. Then we basically have this back here, and then we have two different texture sizes that we work with here. So for the, just let's throw that back here, put a comment around. Distance blending. And then we have llubs for all these. So for instance, for the rock, we have the near scaling and different scaling. So let's add a llub between near and far scaling. And get this as the alpha. See if that works. Okay, that doesn't look correct. Does this do? This takes pixel depths. This adds start offset, then divides by something and clamps it. Interesting. And what we have here, yeah, something different. No, not much. I mean, it's a lot simpler here, so let's see. Okay, so they use an add because it's easier, but in this case they take 1,000 as, or minus 1,000 for the distance, and then divide by 100. Okay, so that's the blending part here. So in this case, that would be this maybe. Okay, so if I take the distance blend instead, have our blend range. Here and our offset. No, the start offset, that would be the blend range. Start offset would be this. So if I preview this node, oh, this needs to be negative. That's the thing. Yeah, I think that might be better. It's doing the same thing with less mass here, so let's remove these. Apply that. See if it looks better. It works better for us here. Yeah, okay, that works, but we need to change the distance. Needs to be a lot more. And another thing is the transition there's really bad. but we can do that by just converting these to parameters. And then we need to go in here and change those scales here. Let's wait for this to compile and then we can play around with the scaling there. So if we are close, we want this to be smaller. So the near scaling should be higher. So that's probably our far scaling here. And this could be scaling. So and then we can change this here. Let's see if we push this up. Okay, so that's the number there. So it's push this down a lot. It's 10. And then let's push this up. I think it needs to be even more. So if we are walking around here, yeah, okay, the issue here is that this number, this is causing issues like that, so it should be a small number. then this needs to be higher. So that we don't notice that. Okay, let's play around with the near thing and the far thing. So let's find good values for these two. So the nearest could be smaller or bigger? No, this needs to be bigger, so let's bigger value means more tiling. Let's have a look. I think we should see a difference here. Yeah, we see it there. Okay, is this good tiling wise? I think it could be a bit smaller here as well. So let's see if I push this to 0.1. I think it's too much already, so let's push this down a bit more. So 0.75. Oops, no. Yeah, I think this is fine. Even though it doesn't look good directly on the slopes here, but that's because the texture is stretched here anyway, so it will never look good. But if you look at this slope like that, I think it's better this way. Especially here. You can also experiment with different textures. Let's see if I find any texture that looks better there. Yeah, and on these areas here, it will never look good because of the stretching. Which means I definitely need to go through these and put some kind of meshes in front of them so that they look a bit better. Then we don't have that issue anymore. I think this looks okay. Then we have quite a big stuff in the distance, and if we get closer, yeah, we are never flying like that, so it shouldn't be an issue. I think it could be an issue here, but let's see. Let's open the blueprint. Yeah, okay, we see it on the side there. Not right in front of us, but on the side. Doesn't look good. And we see it here. But I mean, I can work against that with a bit of distance fog and stuff like that. But the problem is, if I add distance fog, I'm obscuring the view if I'm on mountains and look around and stuff like that. So I need to figure out a good way to do that. Yeah, now we see it there. Sorry. Well, we saw it on the slope. We see it here on this slope, so it's okay, but it's something I can work with. Oh, and I also need to change the way the sun is moving, because it's kind of ticking And that's not looking good. But that would be next step for another time. Okay. I think I want to change the way I do the metallic on these, because I don't like this. Let's see. How do I do that? Oh, metallic is 0, so that's the roughness on those. Okay. But okay, let's add this to the rest of them. So we need a LUP, and we need to duplicate this texture size here. So this is the dirt near size. Okay, so near is A, far is B. And plug that in there. Okay, it's near. Oh, let's duplicate that first, then rename them. Okay. Then we can play around with these, even though I can also don't change for the road. Yeah, let's do that for the road as well. Why not? The only issue is that we have a lot of spaghetti here now. I need to kind of take apart and make it look a bit better at some point. Okay, let's save that. And then we can play around with these. So let's wait for the shaders to compile, and can already close that. Then we can play around with these values, like I said. It's compiling. I'm not sure if it's compiling shaders at the moment or not. It's kind of the issue here. Okay, let's see. Terrain materials. Okay, so it's compiling. Good. Oh, and I also need to stop soon. Yeah, it has some kind of issue again. So, it should be working, but for some reason it doesn't want to at the moment. It doesn't matter, but let's see. So, nope. Let's save this. And we can close all these. Okay, I think this should be okay once it loads up again and recompiles the shaders. We can unload all these and load them again. Let's see if that works. Save all. But I do need to stop. Let's see. What's going on here? Just looking for someone to raid. Yeah, let's raid Dan. Looks okay. So I will be back tomorrow, and then I will tweak the values And maybe play around with the what was it, procedural tree generator, some kind of plugin here that lets you work with different trees and create trees and then save them in a usable format. But I need to find it again. Then create some trees, because I don't like these. And I need a bit more variety in trees as well, so let's do that tomorrow. But for now, I am signing off and rate Honest Den games. So see you tomorrow. If you want to rate, stay in chat. We'll start in a moment. Bye bye. Okay, for some reason the raid doesn't work. Let's just host them and then be done.